Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Welcome to another video. It's another watch along. It's Aston Villa against Arsenal. What a game we have in store for our Saturday night entertainment. Aston Villa, of course, coming into this game off the back of a win last weekend in their opening fixture of the season. Arsenal doing the exact same, winning their opening game. And of course, if you like a bit of story, if you like a bit of narrative, this game has that in abundance, because this is obviously a massive game for both of these sides. There is narrative in both of these games. There is storyline here. Two reasons. One, Unai Emery, former Arsenal manager, of course, looking to haunt his former club, which leads into the second part of the narrative, which is what happened last season. Unai Emery not once but twice returned to haunt his former club. Aston Villa beat Arsenal not just once but twice, home and away last season, putting massive dents in Arsenal's title charge for the campaign. It was a stinging loss. But yet, they have an opportunity here to fight back and to bounce back. And I think it's also big as well that this is happening early on in the season. If this was maybe down the line where Villa may have got into their stride, maybe it might be even more difficult. But I think happening early on in the season at Villa Park, it could be a bit of an advantage to Arsenal in that aspect. Maybe Villa aren't quite at the races. Maybe they'll catch Villa on an off day. Or it could also be the same for Villa. Maybe Villa will catch Arsenal on an off day early on in the campaign. Either way, I think we are in for a very exciting game. I've said in my Premier League predictions video that I see this being the biggest game of this weekend's round of Premier League fixtures. And although we've had a few brilliant moments today and a few great results elsewhere, which we will discuss later on in the show, I'm sure, I'm very much excited by this. I have said Arsenal will win by 2-1. I have said that Arsenal will get revenge on Aston Villa for last season. I have said that Mikel Arteta will put things right here, but I'm not entirely convinced. I know how good Villa are. I know how special this Villa side is becoming under him. And I'm very much excited by this game. I am really, really excited by this game. I'm very much looking forward to seeing how this game plays out. And I'd love to know what you guys think, of course. I want to know what you guys think. So, as always, with any video or any live stream that I do, feel free to hit that like button if you wish. Get subscribing if you're new and want to see more content like this. Both things are always and very greatly appreciated. Get in the comments and the chat as well. Would love to hear from you all, your thoughts, comments, opinions, but most of all, of course, your predictions. I'm sure will make for great, interesting reading on this game. Cannot wait to hear from you all on this. Would be make for great and interesting reading, like I say. But yeah, I'm very much looking forward to this game. Very much looking forward to seeing how this particular game plays out. Let's see. I'm going to talk team news. Aston Villa, the home side, are starting with Martinez in goal, Matty Cash at right back, Konza and Torres make up the heart of the defence. Lucas Digne at left back, Onana and Tielemans and McGinn make up the midfield, along with Bailey on the right, Rodgers on the left, and Ollie Watkins spearheading the attack. Arsenal, David Raya starts in goal, Ben White, Saliba, Gabriel, and Timber all across the defence. Thomas Partey in midfield alongside Martin Odegaard, Declan Rice as well in there as well to make up the midfield three, with Saka on the right, Martinelli on the left, and Kai Havertz through the middle. All in all, all of them squads, they just make it all. They make this game even more intriguing. They make this game even more exciting. I, for one, cannot wait for this game to get underway. I'm very much looking forward to it. It's going to be an interesting tactical battle. It's going to be an interesting battle from right the way across the pitch. We obviously know what these two teams threw up last season, of course. I can't wait. I really cannot wait to see what this game has in store for us. Very much intrigued by this all. So I'm just checking to see how my fantasy team is doing, and spoiler alert, not that good. Not that good, in all honesty. Like, I've done well, considering, but others have done much better. But yes, very much looking forward to today's game. Arsenal versus Aston Villa. We know what we're going to expect from these two teams. It's going to be about how they manage to neutralise the other. It's going to be about how they manage to cancel out the threats of each other. That midfield battle as well is going to be very interesting. Tielemans, Onana and McGinn against Odegaard, Rice and Partey. I am very much intrigued by that tactical battle in particular. The midfield battle, I'm not going to be like all cliche and everything and be like, oh, it's the most important battle on the pitch and that's going to determine if it's a win or a loss or whatever. But it is. It is the most important part of this entire battle that is set to play out before our very eyes here. So look forward to that. Sorry, I'm just doing some. And I'll go with him. So what do you guys think? Let me know. Let me know in the chat what you guys are thinking and feeling about today's game. I think it's massive for Arsenal. Playing this early in the season at Villa Park, a difficult place to go, getting it out of the way and done with will be massive for Arsenal. I don't know what that necessarily means in terms of where they go from here, but you can make guesses. And the guess here is that if they are to win, that's a massive obstacle for them to overcome. Considering last season, considering the story of how Emery managed to do the double over Arsenal, it's a massive obstacle that they overcome so early on in the season. And not even just so early on in the season as well, but imagine the confidence boost that will give them. Imagine the boost of momentum that will give those Arsenal players in terms of overcoming one of their few demons that ultimately stopped them from winning the Premier League title last season. That could be huge for them. On the flip side as well, if Arsenal are to lose this game, depending on the manner in which they lose it by, you can probably expect there to be outpouring of pleas to the Arsenal board to go and buy a striker. That is going to be the hopes, prayers, and everything else that you've got as far as what Arsenal are concerned in terms of their fan base pleading for that kind of thing to happen. And I agree. I said all along, like, I think Arsenal are going to win the title this season, but in order for me to be fully convinced, I need to see more from Arsenal in this transfer window. I need to see them go out and buy a striker that is going to not only give competition to Kai Havertz, but offer something different to Kai Havertz. So that if you do start Havertz, you've got someone in reserve that can offer something different. You start with the guy who's coming in, you've got Kai Havertz in reserve who can offer something different. Whichever way around you play it, they offer something different. And so, like I say, that needs to become a part of Arsenal going forward. It really, really does, in my opinion. Secondly, then, they need a winger. Someone to cover Saka. Not take over Saka. Give him enough competition so that if his performances do slip, you have someone in reserve that can come in and take his place. But mainly, it's going to be someone to cover for him. You go deeper into the season, you go deep in domestic tournaments, maybe you go deep in the Champions League. Would you really want to play Saka against an Ipswich Town, with all due respect to Ipswich, when you have a big Champions League game on the horizon? Would you want Saka, after playing 6 games in about 3 weeks, to be playing another game straight after a full 90 minutes at the risk of fatigue, both mentally and physically, and potential injury? No, you wouldn't. So in those situations, that's where you bring in your understudy. That's where you bring in a guy who may not clearly be better than Saka, but can give him good competition to just keep him on his toes. Can give him good competition to the point where you don't really notice a drop-off for the odd game that Saka isn't there. Arsenal need to do more, in my opinion. Mikel Merino is fantastic. A fantastic signing, and I've sang his praises throughout the majority of this transfer window for as long as that saga was going on for. Sang that guy's praises, and I think how important he is for Arsenal. And then City went and pulled off an incredible move in bringing back Ilkay Gundogan. If Arsenal didn't need to do anything else before that move happened, they certainly do now. And it's going to have to happen in the final third. It's going to have to happen with a striker. It's going to have to happen with a winger. I think regardless of today's performance, regardless of today's result, that has to be the outcry from Arsenal fans, in my opinion. That has to be the outcry, in my opinion. Because for as good of a team as what you've got, for as close to being Premier League champions that you are, I'm starting to question whether you will have enough or not. I'm starting to question my own judgment and my own prediction. Fantastic squad, fantastic team, don't get me wrong. And, maybe if maybe if a bit of luck's on your side and maybe a few injuries to key players happen to Manchester City, maybe you could get by with this current team. But I think in the final third, you just lack that little bit of something that can get you across that finish line. And that's why I think this next week or so is drastically important. Drastically important. A lot can change in football. A lot can definitely change in the blink of an eye in a transfer window. Win or lose today, go and get that striker. or maybe a winger who can temporarily play as a striker to cover for Saka. I think that could work as well, as long as he's got a consistent sort of output. I think that could potentially work. But go and get him. Whoever it is, just go and get him. Reinforce that front line of yours, and the title may be yours. Maybe yours. We shall see. We shall see on that one. And like I said, I think regardless of today's result, that should be the outcry. That is where I think the outcry should be. And again, I'm interested in and intrigued by your lot's opinions on all of this. So, where does that leave us with 15 minutes to go before kickoff? Let's talk about Aston Villa. We talked about Arsenal. What about Villa? Well, from Villa's point of view, a very good win last weekend against West Ham. Tricky game. Wasn't exactly the best, but at the same time, in those kind of situations, you just need to get that win on the board. And that is exactly what Villa did. It wasn't pretty. It wasn't easy. And it was their strength and depth that saw them through. John Duran coming off the substitutes bench to ironically score against a team that held a lot of interest in him reportedly this past summer in West Ham. This game, I don't know what to make of Villa yet. I don't know if the progression of Unai Emery is going to be the same. I don't know if the progression of this squad is going to continue on the trajectory. I'm hoping it does, and I think it might do, because Emery is such a fantastic, well-experienced manager that he will know the situation that is presented in front of him. I do worry that maybe a lot of change in terms of transfers may upset the rhythm a little bit of that. Throw in Champions League football later on down the line as well. It might not all be completely there. But Villa looking good. They're looking really, really good. They're in a promising, exciting, opportunistic position. And I'm very much intrigued to see how they developed it, not just in this game, but in terms of as the season progresses. I'm interested to see how they can fight back against, obviously, the bar that they set themselves last season, the progression under Unai Emery. I think there's a lot more to come from this Villa side, and I, for one, cannot wait for that to unfold. Yeah, I'm going 2-1 Arsenal though. As much as I always say that kind of stuff, I've got to be honest. I'm going 2-1 Arsenal. I just think they'll have enough about them. I think this will be a game of missed opportunities. I think the missed opportunities will be in pretty short supply, in all honesty. I think this is going to be a game against two very good defenses, very good, well set up teams, both disciplined, both very well drilled. And I think when you get those kinds of games, the opportunities that are there are golden ones. They sometimes gilt-edged chances, but also they are in short supply. So it's going to be about who can take their chances more. And although Villa have a very, very good attack, they're very, very good in the final third. You know, they've even got a decent enough striker in reserve in John Duran that can always pop up with an important goal here and an important goal there. I'm going with Arsenal to just about edge this game. I'm going with Arsenal to just about get this one over the line. 3 points. and a massive victory for Mikel Arteta's side. I've gone back and forth over it since I've done my video, but I don't think I think I'm changing. I don't think I'm changing. In all honesty, yeah, I'm pretty safe with that. To be honest, I'm pretty safe and sound with that. To be perfectly honest with you, I think that's the way to go forward. 2-1. Yeah, we shall see. We shall see. We'll go with that. Sorry, I was just on a cheeky bet. Just putting on a cheeky bet for first half fouls. Nothing big, nothing major, but a cheeky bet nonetheless. Elsewhere in the Premier League today, I've been loving the Premier League today. As a Liverpool fan, it's been brilliant to watch. I mean, it could have had the icing on the cake if Man City had lost, but you know what? I'll take United losing in extra time. And I did predict a draw for that game, in all honesty. I think I said 2-2, so I was very, very close to that prediction coming off. But at the same time, I did say in that same video that this game always produces late drama. That game always produces something in added on time. And so it came to pass. João Pedro scoring the winner in extra time. And Brighton won by 2-1. A brilliant, brilliant victory for the Seagulls. Didn't think United again played that poorly, but once again, it really did display two things, in my opinion. Throughout the majority of the game, until probably like Xerxes came on, it displayed to me the lack of the lack of presence, I guess you could say, in the final third, particularly through the centre of Manchester United without a recognised number 9. For me, Xerxes has to start sooner rather than later. The guy certainly made a bit of a difference when he came on. And I don't really understand why he didn't actually start this game, in all honesty. Secondly, Erik ten Hag's decision-making was poor. I don't know what the story was with Bruno Fernandes, whether it was just tactical, whether it was fitness, whether it was... I don't even know. But taking off Bruno Fernandes and replacing him with Scott McTominay just, for me, killed United's attack. That was at a point as well where United were getting into the game from a on the front foot perspective, really getting into it in the second half. And then that performance just really sort of killed off United's momentum and attack. And they didn't look the same after that. And that's where Brighton then grew in confidence and ended up going on to win the game very late on. So, very strange. I've got to mention the disallowed goal. Look, it's a little harsh and it's a little bit annoying. Like, I think if you are the team that has scored that kind of goal, you are a little bit frustrated with how obviously everything came to be for that goal to be chalked off. You're annoyed at the players. In my opinion, I think Mount should have probably not even hit Xerxes on its way to the goal. I think he probably should have found the back of the net without him. But at the same time, Xerxes is in the wrong place at the wrong time. And that is, of course, where you get to a point where the offside comes about. It's a little harsh because the ball is going in the goal anyway. Like, there's nothing anybody can do about it. Xerxes is interfering with play with the ball, but at the same time, the ball was going in the back of the net anyway. But it is the rules, of course it is, and you know, he does get the last touch. So, as much as it would be annoying, and it would be annoying to every football fan if their team had scored that goal, I'm just glad it happened to Man United and we can laugh about it. And then the icing on the cake in that particular moment is, of course, João Pedro's winner. That was absolutely outstanding. Loved every second of it. And I'm just a bit annoyed that I couldn't live stream it, but that was fun nonetheless. That was very, very fun and very good to watch. Really, really did enjoy that. What else happened today? Man City 4, Ipswich 1, Erling Haaland, hat-trick hero. It was kind of a predictable result, really, and probably very predictable with the goal scorer, to be honest. I guess everybody today that plays fantasy football probably had Erling Haaland as their captain, I'm guessing, or at least triple captain, maybe. Guessing that's kind of the case. So, again, congratulations if you did. I did as well, but didn't triple captain him. I don't know, it seemed too obvious. Triple captain him seemed too obvious. I am now regretting that decision. Hey, dude, how you doing? Hope you are well. Noxty. I hope I'm pronouncing that name right. I do apologize if I'm not. I'm terrible with names. So, mate, just hit drop a like. You deserve more likes and viewership. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate the comment and the nice words. Really do appreciate that, my friend. Hope you are doing well. Yeah, no surprises in guessing Man City beat Ipswich. No surprises in guessing Erling Haaland got a hat-trick. I think if you were to put a tenner on that, you'd probably only win 1p off it. So I'm very, very not surprised in the slightest by Erling Haaland or by Man City's victory there. Very comprehensive. I think the only thing I was a bit surprised at was that City did not keep a clean sheet, which was a bit surprising and a bit annoying, but there you have it. Hey, Balam, how you doing, dude? Nice to see you again, my friend. Is it true that once you get 700 subs, you'll present next watch along in your... No one wants to see that, dude. I remember when, as you go on say, I remember when Gary Lineker could do that. No one would want to see that. I would go from having 700 subs right the way down to 0. So, no one would want to see that. I'm good, bro. I'm good. I hope you are good as well, dude. Thank you for coming along. It's taking time out of your day for this. Doing great. Nice. Really good. Really glad you are, my friend. Appreciate that. Yes, we are a couple of minutes away from the start of the game. As always with this, my stream may be a minute or so behind in real time. So again, you might have to just bear with me a little bit. City win. That was fairly predictable. I think I went 4-1 in my predictions, to be honest. No, I went 4-0. It was 4-1. I went 4-0. It was 4-1 on the day. Annoying. A Twitter account for a throwback of the match of day event thing. Good evening. Good evening. Appropriate today. I expect an Unai win and good tactics from him. Look, you're not out of the realms of possibility, dude. It's not out of the realms of possibility for Villa to get something from this game at the very least. A win. Like I say, I don't think a lot of us were expecting Villa to beat Arsenal twice, home and away last season, but they went on and did that. I'd like it to happen again. I think it would throw a little bit more mystery and a bit more chaos into the mix of the Premier League if Villa were to win. But at the same time, I'm fully expecting Arsenal to be on it today. I'm fully expecting Arsenal to right the wrongs of last season and to put this demon that obviously stopped them from winning the Premier League, or one of the very few demons that stopped them from winning the Premier League title, to rest on this occasion. Going Aston Villa 1-0 for them. Hey, it happened last season. It could definitely happen again. Unai seems most likely to win against Mikel. Some managers just have other managers' numbers. I remember for a while, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was constantly beating Pep Guardiola. Like, you wouldn't have expected it. You wouldn't have anticipated it. But some managers just have that about certain players, certain other managers. They just have their Achilles heel. I think Sam Allardyce was a bit of an Achilles heel for Jurgen Klopp because of how he used to play. Carlo Ancelotti is another one that used to obviously get the better of Jurgen Klopp from time to time as well. So certain managers just have it against certain other managers. That's just the way that football works around here. Elsewhere today, Morgan Gibbs-White was a difference maker as Nottingham Forest beat Southampton by 1-0. Back-to-back defeats on their return to the Premier League for Southampton. Back-to-back 1-0 defeats as well. Good for Forest. Gibbs-White was in my dream team. Didn't really make much of a difference, to be honest, but who cares? What else happened today? Fulham, 2-1. Very good and glad to see Emil Smith-Rowe on the score sheet. Very glad with that one. West Ham beat Crystal Palace by 2-0. Back-to-back defeats to kick off the new season for Palace and Glasner. Has the bubble burst for Crystal Palace? That is my question to you. Has the bubble burst, or is this just early season jitters from Oliver Glasner's side? I'd love to know what you guys are thinking and feeling about Palace, especially with how Palace are getting rid or have gotten rid of Joachim Andersen. And it looks like Mark Gahey might be following him out the door before the deadline closes on Friday, is it? I want to say it's Friday, but I could be wrong. It could be a bit extended. I'm not 100% sure. I think it is Friday, though. So you'll have to bear with me on that one. But yes. There you have it with that one. I think that was it as far as Premier League. I talked about Palace. I talked about Fulham. I talked about City. And I talked about Southampton. Oh, Tottenham. Yes, of course. How can I forget? Everton got absolutely slaughtered. How can I forget that one? Everton got absolutely slaughtered by Tottenham. 4-0. It finished at Postecoglou's side in a game that I thought would actually be much closer. The beautiful irony again in this is the underlying tone of my FPL team. I see that last season, Everton have got the 4th best defensive record in the Premier League. I therefore go, you know what? Jordan Pickford might not be a bad shout to put in goal. He's conceded 7 goals in 2 games. He's conceded 7 goals in 2 games. Why, Pickford? Why? Why did I ever trust an Evertonian? What is wrong with me? Those of you who are here, a Fletch video of Arsenal Fan TV a few years back did very well. Arsenal Fan TV did a comparison of Unai Emery and Arteta last week. Yes, I saw that, and it made absolutely no sense to me because it didn't. The argument seemed to come out of nowhere. Yes, that video a few years back actually did do pretty well by the standards then. So yeah, I do appreciate you bringing that up. But at the same time, I did see the argument that Robbie had with, I don't remember the other guy's name, but the argument that they had, and it was only game week 1 of the new season, and they were already saying that Arteta's not better than Unai Emery. Emery's a better manager. Emery's this, Emery's that. And Robbie was like, no, what the hell are you talking about? This, and this. And apparently, I've not factually checked this, but I have heard in other areas online and on YouTube that the guy who was arguing that Emery's a better manager than Arteta was calling for Emery's head when he was at Arsenal. So it shows you opinions change. Opinions apparently change depending on the direction of the wind for certain people. Just saying. Southampton versus Ipswich next month will be interesting. A massive relegation 6-pointer, no doubt. Crystal Palace in South East London lost Anderson, centre-back. They might need to go, might need one more in. And especially if they lose Gahey as well. You've only got about a week to go until the transfer window shuts. I think me and you, I think in the last stream that we did, I think you brought up Joe Gomez and how he's available and how that might be a good shout for Palace. And I 100% completely agree with you. I think Joe Gomez to Crystal Palace will be huge. I think there is a bit of a risk in terms of maybe his injury record isn't the best. But there is absolutely no doubt in my mind that Joe Gomez would be a fantastic signing for the majority of teams, not just in the Premier League, but elsewhere as well. Yeah, I 100% agree. I 100% agree. Seth Vandenberg sold Nathaniel Phillips and Joe Gomez could be next. Yeah, I 100% agree. I think they're going to try and move them out the door. Phillips only has 1 year left on his deal, so we're looking to cash on him now whilst we have the opportunity to do so. Gomez, I don't know what it is, but apparently Slot doesn't rate him enough to fight for him to stay. And I don't understand why, and I think that could really come back to bite us. I'm really not sure what the thinking is too much behind that one in particular. But there you have it. Yeah, that's probably going to be what we're going to have to look forward to. And, of course, we've got Brentford to come tomorrow for Liverpool. So looking forward to that game back at Anfield for the first time this season. Seth Vandenberg is a strange one. Only played twice in a League Cup, 20 million, good money. I think, is it 20 million that could rise to 30 or 25 that could rise to 30? Something like that, isn't it? I'd say we've got some decent money for him. But it doesn't necessarily matter because that money doesn't go anywhere other than FSG's pocket. So who cares? I'm surprised we still have Nathaniel Phillips in away with many loans away. Like I keep saying this, we should have sold him at the end of the season where he came in towards the second half of the season and he absolutely killed it for us and he helped us get third in a season in which we had to play like our 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th and however many centre-back pairings of that season. We had to bring in the likes of Ben Davies and Ozan Kabak in January. We should have sold him then because we could all see he didn't quite fit the mold of a Liverpool defender, but he was very good at his job of being a no-nonsense, straightforward, direct centre-back. We should have cashed in on him when the hype was very much on him and he was red hot. And we didn't. And we regret it now because what could have been selling him for around about 15 to 20 million in that summer, we are now going to be looking at 7 to 10 million at the most, probably. Maybe even less considering the fact that he's got 1 year left on his contract. Liverpool are making good money for FFP, financial fair play and profit sustainability, etc. The fact of the matter is, dude, we are apparently so low under that, it's irrelevant again. Apparently, you look out there long enough and you do your research and you dig deep, you'll find numerous people saying that Liverpool and Spurs are two teams in the Premier League, two top teams that can spend a little bit more than the rest of them and be completely untouched by FFP and PSR and all of that stuff. So again, it's irrelevant. It's completely and utterly irrelevant what we do in terms of sales. It really, really is. Ben Davies never played for Liverpool, did he? No, I think maybe barring like a friendly. I don't think he ever did. So I'm just watching the game. We have kicked off. We're a couple of minutes in and could be a very big concern here for Aston Villa right off the bat. Amadou Onana has gone down. It looks potentially concussion protocol. So I think they're just checking to see if he's going to be okay to continue or whether or not to take him off. He's standing though, so that's good. Trying to keep himself warm, it seems. Seems okay to continue though. Might be going off just for a little bit of treatment to come back on. But a little bit of a worry there for Aston Villa right off the bat here. Would you take a free transfer signing? In a way, Liverpool won't sign anybody except a goalkeeper for a loan away. I mean, if they're good enough, then I don't think the money necessarily matters how much you pay as long as they are good enough. But the fact of the matter is, how many free transfers are going at this current stage of the transfer window? And are they going to be good enough? The probability is that they're not. So, you know. Tottenham are a business because new stadium, sell it out to Taylor Swift, Beyonce concerts, etc. I heard they make money. They certainly do. They are very well off as Arsenal try and break forward here, but they are thwarted in their attempts and they can recycle the ball and start again. They certainly do. They certainly make a lot of money. They're a very good money-making business, but not a very good football institution. But there is a lot of potential there with Spurs. There is a lot of potential. And I think if you're a crazy billionaire owner who is looking to buy a football club, and of course you don't really mind where you're splashing the cash, Tottenham certainly has a lot of potential. Not just because of where it's located in London, not just because of the new stadium, but just everything to do football-wise as well. A lot of potential there as well. A few days remaining in the transfer window, absolutely. A lot can happen, and I'm hoping a lot does happen. It makes for great content that way, and it makes for obviously a lot of great talking points. So fingers crossed, there is some entertainment and some action. But of course, we won't be getting it at Liverpool. So it doesn't really matter. It is what it is. Nice play by Villa. Here's McGinn. Out wide to Bailey. Plays it on the line for Cash. Cash swings one, but it's blocked, and Arsenal can get the ball away. Decent press though by Villa. Good play by Arsenal though, and they've beaten the press. It's Martinelli down the left wing. Tries an outside of the right boot. It's just behind Bukayo Saka, but Saka recovers. Cross comes in. Martinez parries it away. It's only dropped as far as Declan Rice, and he swings a foot at it. Doesn't quite get the connection that he's looking for, and it goes into the grateful hands of Martinez at the second time of asking. But already there, you can see the spring of the counter-attack and how quickly Arsenal can play out of the press of Villa. It was some very nice football that got Gabriel Martinelli away down the left wing there. He just couldn't quite link up with Bukayo Saka properly, and it sort of killed the momentum of the attack. But a lot there to work with. As ball goes out of play for an Arsenal throw-in deep inside the Aston Villa half. What are your predictions, by the way, Ballum, if you're still there? I want to know what you think about this game. I want to know what you're thinking if you're watching the game. What are your early thoughts? What are your thoughts on Arsenal? What are your thoughts on Aston Villa? Do you think Arsenal can win the league this season? Do you think they just don't have enough yet? Do you think they need to do a bit more in the transfer window in a few days? Would love to know what you're thinking and feeling about that. Or anybody for that matter. It don't have to be Ballon. It could be anybody. Opening 10 minutes, nothing really of note. Been a bit stop-start as Kai Havertz is judged to have fouled. By the way, the first half fouls we are looking for, although it's not looking good, I've got to say, like, I was hoping at least one of them would have kicked off by now, but we're looking for Rogers, Onana, Cash, and Digne to have produced a foul in this first half. We shall see on that one. Trent Alexander-Arnold, Curtis Jones, Connor Bradley, Cameron Gallagher, Yaros, Tyler Morton, Ben Doak are all Liverpool homegrown players, etc. Unless I miss someone with Nathaniel Phillips and Joe Gomez leaving. How old is Yaros? How old is Yaros? How old is Doak now? Are they above? Is the cut-off point 21? Are they cut off over 21? And then, or is it 18? My brain is very, very not very good at remembering stuff. Just very, very stupid. I don't remember. Bayer Leverkusen somehow won again yesterday. Mate, did you see Granit Xhaka's goal? That guy probably scored the goal of the season already. Like, that guy scored an absolute insane goal yesterday. And once again, Bayer Leverkusen pick up where they left off, and they score in like the last kick of the game, deep inside injury time, with like 10 minutes of the extra time period gone. It's insane. It's not human. There's something not quite right about this, but it's absolutely incredible. I see Manchester City to win the league and the signing of Ilkay Gundogan could help. I see Aston Villa 1-0 here. It's not bad. It's not bad. I'm looking forward to seeing Bayer Leverkusen competition in UCL. Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be interesting to see their addition to the Champions League, and it's going to be interesting to see them see how they fare, and obviously see how this new format goes. As Matty Cash, it looks like, is now down for Villa, another injury concern, and the referee seems very concerned. He's really shouting at the bench to get some attention to their player. Oh, does he? I think he just about rolls his. I think he just rolls his ankle as he's attempting to block. Might just have rolled his ankle, or maybe his hamstring's just gone or something. Not sure. So yeah, Bundesliga should be very interesting this season because I'm not entirely convinced about Vincent Kompany as of right now. I'm not entirely convinced with him being the Bayern Munich manager for right now. Leverkusen obviously have extremely high standards that they at least need to match for this season. Maybe not go invincible like they did last season, but they have standards of now winning silverware that they need to somewhat compete for. And you've also got the usual suspects lingering in the background, the likes of your Leipzigs and your Dortmunds, of course, and whoever else there is. You've still got them kind of lingering in the background. So, yeah, I'm very much looking forward to the Bundesliga this year. I think it could be a bit more open than it has been for a number of years. Bayern versus Bayer Leverkusen end of next month. That's going to be huge. Alonso versus Company. That's going to be huge. Can't wait for that. Cash is receiving some treatment. Looks like he's going to be going off, though. I think they're preparing a sub. Play continues. It's Martinelli. Goes down the left wing. Looking to take advantage of the man advantage that it looks like they have right now. Gabriel wins that tussle with Watkins. Gabriel floats the ball in, it's chested away, and Tielemans can break, but he manages to lose it. Partey turns well and gives it to Kai Havertz. Kai Havertz now over to Bukayo Saka. Saka against Luca Digne. First time I've really seen Saka in the game. Odegaard back to Saka. He's in the box. He shoots. It's all. I think Martinez just about got something on that. It's the first real time Saka's been involved in the game in a dangerous threat. He does a little bit of like a 1-2 with Odegaard. A lovely little reverse ball by Odegaard. Works the space, gets half a yard to deliver the shot, and it's a very good hand by Martinez to parry the ball away and out for a corner. But yeah, very positive sign, especially when Saka does get on the ball. First time he really got away from Luca Digne there. And like I say, he was able to force a good save from Martinez. Matty Cash is replaced by Costa Nedeljukovic. I'm terrible with names anyway, but when you have put in that kind of name, that's going to win a game of Scrabble. But ball goes in, and Martinez eventually, I think, wins the foul. He went down there, and it didn't seem like the referee was going to be blowing the whistle, but it seems to go down there under the challenge. Let's have a look. It does seem very soft on the goalkeeper, that. Nothing came about of it, but it did seem very, for a very, very soft foul that Martinez was able to win there. Bayer Leverkusen will lose somewhere, I feel. Won DFB Super Cup, first cup against Stuttgart, really. Yeah, I mean, their winning streak in domestic terms is massive now. And it will eventually, like the Arsenal Invincibles, they will eventually lose. And then it's about how they recover from losing after so long. That's going to be the biggest test for them. To be fair, they lost in the Europa League final, of course, but yeah. Yeah, there you have it. First time in the history. We'll try to be back later on the stream. Why would everybody join your watch-along compared to others watch-along in this match? You do like hearing and talk to the viewers. Feel free to ask questions. Appreciate it, mate. Appreciate you coming along. Appreciate you interacting as always. Love that you are constantly a massive supporter of mine. So appreciate that, my dude. Really do. Yeah, I mean, nothing's really happened in the first 18 or so minutes of this match, apart from that one effort by Bukayo Saka. So, yeah, the more interaction, the better, as far as what I'm concerned. It kind of fills in the space a little bit of when Arsenal are just passing it around at the back like they are doing right now. So, yeah, appreciate that, bro. But, yeah, thank you for coming along and taking your time out of your schedule to come to this to come to this watch along. Really do appreciate it, my dude. Always appreciate you being here. Almost 20 minutes gone. Arsenal coming the closest. Bukayo Saka forcing a very good stop from Emi Martinez. Emi Martinez, former Arsenal goalkeeper, of course. Former Arsenal goalkeeper. So far, so good for Villa. Arsenal slowly building. A bit of patience to their play, but it's given away to Amadou Onana. Now, can he spring forward? He's springing forward with purpose, power, presence, and he releases the ball to Leon Bailey on the right. He manages to keep possession, and Villa can now have some safe possession of their own just above the halfway line. But now Bailey's gone down, and it's another injury concern for Aston Villa. They are dropping like flies. This opening 20 minutes has been so stop-start with just injuries concerns for Aston Villa. First, Amadou Onana, then Matty Cash, and now Leon Bailey, who seemed to go down. I thought he just knocked himself a bit off balance, but he took the ball, he sort of tried to shimmy past Timber, and then in an attempt to win, to keep hold of possession, gives the ball backwards and just drops to the floor. Tries to shimmy past him, drops. And that will be a massive blow for Villa if this is to be a big miss. Remember, no Moussa Diaby, of course. He's in Saudi Arabia right now. But what it could mean, if this is going to be an injury, is that this might step up attempts to obviously sign Raheem Sterling. We do know that Villa are looking for a winger. We do know that Chelsea don't view Raheem Sterling in any of their future plans going forward. So there you have it. Put 2 and 2 together. And we're back on the way. McGinn tries to look for the run of Rodgers, but it's cleared away. Bailey is back on, moving a little gingerly, as you'd expect, but seems to be okay enough to continue, which is going to be good news for Villa. Ollie Watkins only had one touch in this opening 20 minutes. To be fair, it has been stop-start, like I say, and the ball hasn't really been in play that much, but there you have it. Only one touch. Just shows you how dominant Arsenal have been so far. And that's going to be the big thing as well. Like, Arsenal are already dominant when it comes to being rock solid at the back. They're going to be even more reinforced with the addition of Mikel Merino. And that's why it's got a lot of people talking about how Arsenal's defence is going to be even stronger this season, about how Arsenal could even break Chelsea's record of the fewest goals conceded in a single Premier League campaign. There's so much to it that this Arsenal side could go on and achieve this season. I'm not even going to say it isn't out of the realms of possibility for that to be achieved, because although it is absolutely stupid that Chelsea did something that insane 20 odd years ago under Jose Mourinho, it's not out of the realms of possibility for Arsenal not to maybe achieve the exact same thing, or maybe even slightly less. It would mark an incredible, phenomenal, astronomical performance all season round. It would mark some of the biggest displays of discipline and intelligence around, but it isn't out the realms of possibility. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to say anything more. Villa could be in here. It could be. He's put it wide. Ollie Watkins has put it wide. An incredible moment. I was just there talking about how great Arsenal's defence is, and all of a sudden, Villa absolutely opened them up. Gabriel caught in possession just on the edge of his own area. And, oh my word. It's caught in possession. And Rodgers just... Saliba has to come across to try and deny Rodgers. And Rodgers just plays it across to Ollie Watkins. And Watkins, wow. He has to hit the target. At the very, very least, Watkins has to hit the target. And he puts it wide. He sticks it wide in front of the New England interim manager as well. That's not going to do his case any favours. But a really big let-off there for Arsenal. And it might have been Timber, actually. I think I said Gabriel, but it might have been Timber. I thought it was Gabriel. I could be wrong. Either way, massive let-off for Arsenal. Massive let-off for Arsenal. Ollie Watkins there, not finding the target. But here come Arsenal down the other end. Ooh, cut out and cleared away by Villa. Massive let off for the Gunners there. Really let off the hook by Ollie Watkins, who really should have done better. It was brilliant press by Villa. Nice little ball by Rodgers to find the free in the penalty area. Ollie Watkins, and he just scuffs his shot. He just scuffs his shot and drags it wide. Unbelievable miss. Both teams having their moment, though. Villa had to be a bit more patient for theirs, and they had to capitalise on a massive mistake, but even so, really should have been 1-0 Arsenal. 1-0 Villa by now. Arsenal booing out from the back here. It'll be interesting to watch that now, though. Now that they've had a bit of joy, maybe they apply more pressure to Gabriel. It's just interesting how things can turn in an instant. And like I said, it was the curse of me for going on about how great Arsenal's defence is and how incredible they are and this and that, and how they can go on and break multiple defensive records and astonishing ones at that. And then all of a sudden, I see them go and almost concede from a stupid mistake that they put themselves in. That is poor. A lot of mistakes so far. A lot of mistakes. A lot of misplaced passes. Bit of breakdowns in communication. These things will iron themselves out as the season goes on. I'm expecting that this is just another early sort of season game in which these kind of little things are still apparent in certain teams. But yeah, so far it's not been the greatest of spectacles to watch. And yeah, Villa throwing on the halfway line. Almost half an hour played, still 0-0. We are still waiting our first goal of the evening. Villa should have actually broke the deadlock, but Ollie Watkins scuffed his shot wide. Bukayo Saka really did test Emi Martinez, who was equal to his effort to push it round the post and out for a corner. But other than that, we've had no other chances of note. It has been a bit stop-start. There have been a few injury concerns that Aston Villa will probably need to monitor. Matty Cash has already gone off injured. We shall see. We shall see how this goes as Villa are preparing a long throw in by Lucadinha. Long throw goes in, and that's straight out of play for a goal kick. That is poor. Odegaard caught in possession, but the ref judges this one to be a foul. Lucadinha punished. And we'll play through. Cut back to Martinelli. Martinelli cutting on his left, in from the left onto his right. To work back out to Declan Rice, who puts in a ball across the box, and it is headed away. And Villa win the free kick from Thomas Partey. It's taken quickly down the wing. It's a good opportunity this for Villa if they can work it well. He tries to cut it back, and it's cut out brilliantly by Saliba. Read the danger really well, cut the ball out, and has sprung Arsenal away on a potential attack of their own. Partey's effort, and it's over. Still 0-0. Still 0-0. We wait for something significant. Just a couple of signs of foul. I think it's gone in Villa's favour. Foul on McGinn there by Saliba. Yeah, foul on McGinn from Saliba there. Yeah, a couple of signs there from Villa though that they're starting to get a bit more joy in this game. They're starting to maybe cause Arsenal some food for thought here. Tielemans is going to in-swing this free kick, it seems. Interesting setup there. There was someone from Villa that was on the goalkeeper that never really made it that far anyway, but interesting setup. Long ball played through, and this is a good opportunity for Arsenal. Played across goal. It's well defended and well cut out, though. Brilliant defending there. And it's very, very well dealt with. I think it was Onana, who got back there to cut back really, really well there as Arsenal tried to spring a counter-attack. Very well worked from Arsenal, but very well recovered and defended by Villa. Watkins down in the corner against Saliba. Oh, it's all flaring up now. McGinn. It seemed like Saliba wanted a foul off Watkins. I don't think it was coming, and then McGinn kicks the ball against Saliba. And I think the ricochet bounced into the path of another defender who kicked it against McGinn, and it's all kicking off, and it's all very stupid. It's handbags. Yeah, he absolutely smashes it at Saliba, and then I think it's Declan Rice smashes it against him. So, oh no, Ben White. Sorry, Ben White smashes it against them. But a couple of these opportunities for Villa, but another good opportunity from Arsenal goes a begging here. It's a long ball down the line. It's a very well-timed run, seemingly from Kai Havertz, and then his ball across, and it's just cut out perfectly. Very well defended. We've praised Saliba at one end for defending very, very well. Very well defended there this time around from the Villa defender. Referee seemingly calmed down the situation, and play can resume from a free kick to be taken by David Raya. Just over 35 minutes gone, I should say. Still 0-0. Arsenal are coming forward here with Timber. It's Gabriel. Nice incisive ball to Timber, who gets past one defender, but the second defender was on the recovery and smashes the ball away. It'll only go as far as Gabriel, though, and they can resume another attack. Very well played by Saliba. Turns himself out of trouble and keeps possession for Arsenal. I don't think either side will be too disappointed. There's a lot more room for improvement for either side, but it's definitely encouragement from both sides as Martinelli goes into the penalty area and is trying to dance his way through. Just trying to stand up the man. Declan Rice, cross goes in. It's cut out as far as Odegaard, who dances past one, tries to go past the second. It's cut out again only as far as Saka. And Saka's judged to be offside anyway, so it will be an Aston Villa ball. Yeah, like I say, I don't think there's a lot either side can be particularly happy about, but I don't think there's too much that either side will be too disappointed in either. I think for Arsenal, they obviously need to quicken the tempo. I think they need to try and break down this Villa defence a bit more than what they are doing. And for Villa, they just need to pick their moments better on the counter-attack. It's not really clicking for them right now. There have been a couple of moments in the past 10 minutes or so that you could say, you know what, there are encouraging signs there, but they're just not executing or picking the right moment on the counter-attack. There was another example. Onana breaking through midfield, and he just doesn't play the right ball over to the right-hand side. So there's a lot to work on for both of these sides. Ball tries to go through again, trying to look for Odegaard, but a Villa defender is there to cut the ball out, pass it back to Martinez, and Martinez can thump it upfield. And it's back with Arsenal. We'll shift the ball over to the right-hand side. Here's Odegaard. Saka, lovely ball on the inside looking. It's cut back by Ben White, but Bailey is there to deal with the danger. And he looks long and he's trying to get Rodgers on the move, but the ball is cut out again and Arsenal can come again with another wave of Gunners attack. It's not been great by Villa in terms of keeping the ball. They have looked to try and spring a bit more of a direct counter-attack, but it just the execution of it just has not worked whatsoever, and Arsenal have just been in the right place at the right time to kind of neutralise the potential counter-attack on most occasion. Martinelli crosses it in, it's Havertz, it's driven wide. Very well worked again by Arsenal, very well patiently worked from right to left. Rice finds Martinelli on the inside. Lovely incisive ball to try and set up a cross. He hits a first time low cross, and Havertz just couldn't sort his feet out quickly enough for him to get anything on goal. But again, that's the kind of thing Arsenal need. Just quicken up the tempo. Right back gone to sleep there a little bit on Arsenal's part. Ball watching rather than watching Martinelli. And Martinelli causing himself a bit of a nuisance there in that left wing position. But again, it's another encouraging sign for Arsenal and something for them to work on as Pau Torres almost loses the ball. He just got there ahead of Kai Havertz, but Kai Havertz has committed a foul, so it will be a free kick to the Aston Villa man. Almost lost the ball in his own penalty area there. And very lucky to get away with it. But Havertz was just a little late in arriving on the challenge. Five minutes ago until half-time, still 0-0. We await our first goal of this game. It's not been the greatest. Rodgers is going through. Oh! I was going to say, not been the greatest, and then something happens. Every time I say something like that, the opposite happens in this game, it seems. But Rodgers there just picking the ball up and going past the couple, 2, 3, 4 maybe Arsenal players, and then just trying to play a ball across the face of goal. Just didn't have enough pace on it to kind of trouble the Arsenal goalkeeper. But good signs of intent there from the youngster breaking through at a senior squad level, of course. Very, very good from his point of view. Good sign of intent, though, again. Another decent sign of intent. Arsenal again trying to build from the back here. It's an interesting battle. Like I say, it hasn't exactly been the best. It hasn't exactly been all guns blazing. But it's an interesting battle. Villa very happy to just sit back, let Arsenal have the ball in this kind of position, just above the halfway line between their defenders, and try and neutralise the space. But the ball's got through to Saka here. Odegaard helping it on to Saka. Saka and Odegaard keeping it. Ben White's cross in. It's cleared away by Bailey. Headed away, headed down. And Villa eventually get the ball cleared away. And it's a nice ball through as well from Rodgers. Now, Villa could be looking for a decent counter-attacking opportunity here. Rodgers is going through. He finds Bailey. Bailey helps the ball on. Rodgers just wasn't on the same wavelength of him, and the move breaks down completely. It's just that final end product for Villa. It's just not clicking right now. It was a decent breakaway again from Villa, and once they get past the midfield, they do look dangerous. And Morgan Rodgers in particular is looking like a very, very big threat for them. But it's just the final ball. The ball got helped into Bailey there, and I think he's expecting Rodgers to make the run, which is why he does that little pass to the side of him, which kind of would have took it in his stride if he made the run in that kind of area, but just stopped. There's Rodgers again. Shoots, blocked. It's blocked, came out to Bailey. Bailey tries to dink one in, but it's easily caught by David Raya, and Raya can now start a potential attack for Arsenal. But very unfortunate. Bailey Bailey's ball is not finding anyone. But Rodgers again, really making stuff happen. Like, been impressed with this guy since he's burst onto the scene at Villa. Been very, very impressed with the way that he's progressing. Here's Martinelli. Going down the wing, cross in, and it's easily caught by Emi Martinez. We are approaching half time. It is very much on the halfway stage. We are about to find out how much added time there is going to be. Not been a classic first half by any stretch of the imagination. There's been a couple of decent moments, though, a couple of scary moments as well for defenders, but a couple of moments there, so it's not been a complete dull fest, this one. It's not sticking with Watkins either. Very heavy touch there. 6 minutes of extra time to be played at the end of the first half. Getting 6 minutes for the injury stoppages of the likes of Cash and Nana and Bailey. 6 more minutes of this. Arsenal being patient. Gabriel tries to swing one over to Saka. It's easily dealt with by Digne and out for an Arsenal throw-in. Yep, certainly not being a classic, this one. Arsenal trying to progress down the right-hand side. Here's Martin Odegaard. Havertz. Gabriel urged to shoot. I think twice about it. He dinks it over the top for Martinelli to run onto. Crosses it first time. It's headed away by Onana. Between Bailey and the substitute right back. They get it away. Only as far, though, as Gabriel Martinelli, as Gabriel, who head the ball forward, and Timber is judged to have fouled the Aston Villa player, so Villa will get a free kick higher up the pitch, which is good play by them. 2.5 minutes or so gone of this 6 minute period of extra time. Villa will certainly be the happier of the two teams. Of course they will. It always sounds dumb whenever you get the somewhat, not even like underdog, but the team that's not the favourite in this scenario to be going into halftime in a decent position. So it's a decent start by them. Rodgers has just gone past Partey there very, very well and has won a free kick as well. It's going to be a yellow card for Declan Rice. Thomas Partey did no favours there. He goes past Thomas Partey with pretty much ease there, Rodgers, forcing Rice into making a recovery. He makes the challenge, goes in. He picks up a yellow card for his troubles. Brilliant play though by Rodgers. Brilliant play. Like I say, if in a first half in which there's been a lack of quality, he has certainly been. He has certainly been the highlight of this first half. He's certainly been the highlight of the first 45 minutes. And even then, the free kick that he's just won does not come to anything. It's poorly worked, and it's gone to a goal kick, which I think just about sums up the entirety of this first half. Sums up this entire first half, that does. Such a poorly worked free kick. And on a foul on Saka there. And Arsenal will now get a free kick. Another 30 seconds to go. We're waiting to see, obviously, if there's going to be just a little bit more extra time to be added on to extra time. But Mikel Arteta certainly isn't happy about Onana's challenge on Saka. Just had a bit of a speaking to the referee there. It's been a snooze fest, this. It really has. A couple of moments here and there, but apart from that, there's not really been anything of note to write home about or to get excited about. It's not been a classic by any stretch of the imagination as the referee blows for half time. Aston Villa 0, Arsenal 0. Nothing more you can really say about that, to be honest. Bukayo Saka going closest for Arsenal, forcing a very good stop from Emi Martinez in the Villa goal. But Villa had the chance of the half. Villa certainly did have the chance of the half as Ollie Watkins really should have done better with his effort that he scuffed wide. Brilliant play by Villa to force Gabriel into losing possession near the edge of his own penalty area. And then from there, Rodgers, who's been the star of the show in that first half, absolutely has killed it. Sets up Watkins, and you just think he's just going to roll it into the corner. He's going to fire it into the back of the net. And instead, he drags his shot wide. Incredible scenes right there. What do you guys think? Let me know what your halftime thoughts are. Your thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it. Wait for great interesting reading, I'm sure. Hit the like button if you haven't already, or subscribe if you are new. Both things will always and forever be greatly appreciated as we enter this halftime period in which it is 0-0 between Aston Villa and Arsenal, with not that lot to talk about in terms of chances created. We shall see. Arsenal just need to get the ball moving, and they need to get the ball moving quicker than what they have been doing, because it's just not been good enough in the final third for either side, to be honest. Villa have a few bits of encouragement here and there, but they were always going to get that against this Arsenal side. They were always going to have the lion's share of possession. And as soon as they lost it, it would be all about how they managed to recover or get back, and how they managed to obviously set up the way that they do to neutralise any sort of threat from Villa. In terms of Villa, they'll be the happier of the two sides. Of course they will. They're much happier of the two sides. But they will also be kicking themselves as well. The Ollie Watkins chance was an absolute golden opportunity. But other than that, certain other moments that they've had, they really should have done better with. They really should have done better with certain counter-attacking opportunities. They really should have done better with some of their passing. It really has been a very hit and miss game by both of these sides. And one that really, we should be looking at and saying, should have done better. Team should have done better. Whether it's the home side, whether it's the away side, team should have done better. Unbalanced prediction of 1-0 Aston Villa continues to live on. It could potentially happen. Imagine what a day that would be. Obviously, way too early in the season for us to be drawing too many conclusions, of course, but with what happened early in the day, United losing, City winning, who knows? Who knows indeed? Aston Villa 0, Arsenal 0. That is the situation at play as of right now. Half time is upon us. Let me know what you guys are thinking and feeling in the chat. They're just showing us Watkins' chance again. Up until the 25th minute, Villa had nothing going forward for them. And again, missed opportunities. Like if their final ball had been better, if their build-up play had been a little bit snappier, shall we say, or even cohesive, or whatever the word may be, could be looking at a different game right now. But instead, we get this. As you see, just Gabriel just losing in a battle of strength. He doesn't need to be involved in. Like, I know Arsenal like to try and play their way at the back, but that was almost football suicide, what he tried to do there in terms of receiving the ball and then trying to fend off the press from two Aston Villa players. Well, one really and one covering behind him. And then Rodgers plays it across the face of goal. He probably could even take a touch there, maybe, Watkins. He's that composed and that good of a finisher. But all of a sudden takes it first time and just drags it wide. That Saka chance again. Lovely little bit of play by Saka and Odegaard. Lovely little reverse ball from Odegaard. Sets up Saka for the shot. He works the space really well. It's nestling in that bottom corner. If Martinez doesn't get a hand to it, it's proper nestling in the corner. We're waiting for something exciting to happen. We're like the kid in The Incredibles. Something exciting, I guess. I'm about to put me to sleep. What's Arsenal's bench looking like? Ramsdale and goal, obviously. Kivior is there with Zinchenko, so if they want a bit of experience, they could always bring Zinchenko on. Eddie Nketiah is also there. Leandro Trossard, Jorginho, Reece Nelson, Ricardo Calafiori, and youngster Ethan and Nwaneri. See, even from that, like the depth in the attacking third isn't that massive. Like, you've got Eddie Nketiah there, a guy who I really don't rate, but you could probably offload for a decent price. I don't understand why that is the case, but that is obviously the case that has presented itself. Reece Nelson, a guy who, again, I'm not necessarily sure is the way forward for Arsenal. Leandro Trossard could change the game. Of course he could. He's done it on multiple occasions before, and obviously will probably do it again in the future. He's another one that could potentially be a game changer for Mikel Arteta's side. Jorginho, if he wants a bit more control in that midfield and a bit more technical ability over Palmer, could definitely be the way to go as well. Outside of that, they are the untested lot. Aaron Ramsdale, we don't need to go into, his goalkeeper. Eddie Nketiah, look, he could turn the game for you on the odd occasion. He could get you a match winner on the odd occasion, but he's not a sustainable kind of guy to be doing that for you on a regular basis. Kyrgios, Zinchenko, like I say, only for when you are looking for someone to be brought in with experience. Trossard, like I said, could be a game changer. Jorginho, ticking things over in midfield. It could be a way to control it a bit more. Reece Nelson, like I say, we said about Nelson the better. Calafiori's on the bench. Could we be seeing him a bit more in this game? And Ethan and Nwaneri. Yeah, I'd say the attacking third is not exactly showing its depth and quality. Like, there are obviously some names there that play in the attacking third, but some of them are either not good enough or some of them are a little bit tried and untested at this level. So, yeah, we shall see. We shall see, obviously, how Arteta decides to play it. But for me, I think with the way that they are getting around the outside of the defence of Sunderland, I think maybe you can make a case for Zinchenko potentially starting coming out in the second half and coming off the bench. Maybe you could also make a case for Nketiah coming through. You shall see on that one. Yeah, it's there's a lot of interesting things going on right now with Arsenal. There's a lot of interesting bits and pieces in terms of this game too. Very much intrigued to see how they line up in the second half. How long does Arteta leave it until he makes a change or some sort of big tactical tweak? Because right now it is proving to be difficult to beat this Villa side. It is proving to be seemingly very difficult for this Arsenal side to get one over on Unai Emery. As it's been proven here. And it could have been a lot worse had Ollie Watkins, of course, had his shooting boots on. Look, obviously, this does not end the season for Arsenal to win here, but it does prove that there is some sort of weird mental block on Unai Emery. There you have it. I'm good. Teams coming out for the second half. Second half about to get underway. Don't think there's any immediate changes as of right now. So it's going to be interesting to see how long both teams leave it before they actually do make changes. I think I'm right in saying that. Then again, I've been wrong on things that have instantly proved me wrong. So it could be I'm saying that, and then there's like 6 different changes. But yeah, to me, Trossard would certainly be the obvious one on the Arsenal bench. As much as I don't rate Nketiah, I think in a one-off game he could produce a moment. Otherwise, like I say, the attacking third is actually not that beefed up. It really isn't by Arsenal. Another case, evidence, exhibit, however many there are of a reason why they need to go out and bring in an attacker, really. Just looking at the Aston Villa bench, they've got Ross Barkley, who, if he's in the right kind of form, could be very creative. John Duran, obviously, we know about his substitute appearances for the club. Emi Buendia, we know that he can be a bit awkward and a bit of a thorn in the side of Arsenal in particular. Ian Matson, Jacob Ramsey. They've got a couple of players there that could be game changers for Villa as well. It's not all just about Arsenal and the players that they possess. It's also about Villa as well. And yeah, Villa, as much as Arsenal, will be fancying their chances. There was a fair few signs of encouragement towards the end of that first half for Aston Villa. They were starting to get a bit more joy in the Arsenal half than they were before. It'll be interesting to see how Marino fits in and whether or not he's going to be that guy to sort of break them fire or break fires. Do you break fire? No, you don't break fire. Of course you don't. To put out those fires. If and when he obviously gets set into the into the squad. So that's going to be interesting to obviously note going forward. A lot there for us to dive into there. Also playing a bit of keep ball at the back here, easing their way into the second half. The thing for Arsenal is not to panic. It's not to get a bit too overly emotional about the occasion. When they did that before is when they lost, and that was obviously in the last fixtures that these two teams competed in. You felt that Arsenal kind of tried to rush things. They tried to kind of they tried to kind of force it a little bit, and the more that they did that, the more that Villa grew in confidence in that game, and that was why, or one of the reasons why, Villa went on to win the game. Arsenal can't afford to make the same mistakes again in this one. Lovely ball by Ben White. Well, the intention was there, but the execution actually was not. Looking for the run of Declan Rice over the top. The ball went all the way through to Emi Martinez. We shall see. Want some absolute ridiculous rumor from the Daily Express? Want an absolute ridiculous rumor from the Daily Express? Because this game is, not exactly great. Liverpool are preparing a surprise bid for Everton defender Jared Branthwaite ahead of next week's transfer deadline. Now, as much as I rate the guy, as much as I think there is a big potential and a bit of raw talent there, I wouldn't want him at my football club. I wouldn't want him at Liverpool. And not only that as well, but are you telling me that with a week to go of this transfer window, when I was going to suddenly turn to Jared Branthwaite? Now, granted, we have been looking for a defender. We were obviously looking at Lenny Yoro. We reportedly were interested, shall we say, Interest FC in Ricardo Calafiori. And there's obviously other centre-back names that I can tell you that were linked with a potential move to Liverpool this summer. I'm not buying this whatsoever. I'm not buying the Liverpool-Everton link. I'm not buying... There's only like a week to go to the transfer window, and Liverpool have just turned their attention to Branthwaite, who's going to cost about 70-odd million, because if United can't get the deal over the line with them, you know that we're not going to be able to do it. So I'm not buying it. Really not buying it. It's another know-nothing story. Especially because, again, we don't necessarily need to prioritize a defender. Like, yes, a defender would be nice, but we should have got a DM, which should have been our first priority. And the club said it was our first priority, and then done nothing about it since getting rejected by Zubimendi. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Anyway, back to the game. Make it make sense. Back to the game. Villa with a bit of safe possession here. Just getting a feel for the ball in the second half. 5 minutes have already gone after the interval, and there has been nothing of note to report. I know I would much rather have much rather have done the I'd much rather done the Brighton game today rather than this one, if I had the time to. There's just nothing so far. Just absolutely nothing. Nothing. Stop-start because of fouls and injuries and things like that. Just nothing so far to go ahead with. Here's Villa now on the attack. With John McGinn. Inside to Rogers. Rogers flicks it across. It's Onana. It's deflected. Oh, he's onto the crossbar. It's another one. It's saved. David Raya with an incredible double save. I don't even know if the first one is a save or not, but that is incredible from David Raya. It's shot by Onana. It's deflected, and I can't quite tell if Raya gets his fingertips to touch it onto the crossbar or not, whether it goes on the crossbar of its own accord. I'm not... it hits the crossbar without him touching it. And Ollie Watkins is there, free as a bird, to pick up the pieces. And it looks like all he's got to do is find the back of the net. And his diving header is met by a recovering David Raya, who produces an absolute incredible save to deny Watkins. It's not been Watkins' day in front of goal by any stretch of the imagination. And it's not exactly been a game that has produced many clear-cut opportunities. As I said, it wouldn't, by the way. Go back and view what I said right at the very beginning of this game. I said there wouldn't be a great deal of chances in this game, but the chances that you do get, you're going to have to take, because they're going to be few and far from clear-cut golden opportunities, as Martin Odegaard tries to move his way into the penalty area, but he's cut out by the defender, and Villa can escape and try and launch a counter-attack. But no, incredible stuff by the Arsenal goalkeeper, as Leon Bailey now is going up against Jurriën Timber. It's Bailey, cuts back, poor ball back, and cleared away. But an absolute phenomenal stop by David Raya. Random posts. Hope you are well, my friend. Thank you for coming along. What are you making of the game so far? Onto the crossbar, and then Ollie Watkins is having a really poor day in front of goal, but that is a phenomenal stop by David Raya. Villa getting a bit more joy, getting a bit more of the ball in the attacking third now of Arsenal, getting a bit more encouragement. Wasn't watching because we lost twice last season. Oh, I take it you're an Arsenal fan then, my dude. I mean, I thought you would have. I mean, there's still time, of course. I still think you can obviously redeem yourselves from last season here. So, wouldn't be surprised if you go on to win this game, to be honest. But Villa are making a real game of it. So we shall see. As Villa have a corner, they have gone the closest on a couple of occasions now of taking the lead of Villa, but they haven't made their chances count. And against the big clubs, you obviously need to do that. It's a free header by Onana, and he just heads it over. It was very well worked. He arrived very late in the penalty area from very, very far back. Very good accuracy to find him, and then he just heads it over. So we shall see. I just realised that. That's not plugged in. There we go. Not plugged in. My charger was not plugged in there. But yeah, this has been past few minutes just been so much better from Villa, just so much better for the game in general. I did say this isn't going to be a game in which there are going to be clear chances aplenty. This isn't going to be a basketball game. This isn't going to be about two teams that can't defend to save their lives. This is going to be about working the ball enough or getting that little bit of luck to find those clear-cut golden opportunities. And Villa have had two so far in this game. It's Odegaard puts the ball in, but it's very well dealt with by the onrushing Emi Martinez. But like I say, this is all about finding those clear-cut opportunities for a bit of luck or through a bit of skill or some well-played football. That is it. And there you have it. That's it. And like I say, Villa have had those opportunities so far. Arsenal have only had one effort really on goal that I can remember from Bukayo Saka. But it's all about taking them opportunities, because if you don't, the big teams in this league and the teams that are going for the big trophies, like Arsenal in this circumstance, going after the Premier League title, will come and punish you if you don't finish your dinner. Believe me, as a Liverpool fan, I've seen it a number of times down the years, whether we've been the team going for the big trophies or whether we've been the team that's stopped other teams from winning trophies. We've seen it. Arsenal trying to spring a counter-attack here. Gabriel Martinelli down the left. He's cut inside well. He's holding up the ball, looking for support from anyone. They get back and deny him. Again, it's just getting into the final third. The action in the final third just isn't clicking for either team, really. But for their Arsenal, it just really didn't click. As Rodgers just was encouraged to continue to go on and on and on, and eventually his shot is denied. I think by the goal. I think he's won a corner. It might have gone out for a goal kick. I think he was denied by the goalkeeper there. Just encouraged to continue going. He really has been the brightest. He has won a corner. He really has been the brightest star in this game. Morgan. I can't remember his freaking surname. Why am I so bad at remembering names? Rodgers. I've said his name about 1 million times in this video, and there I'm just like, Morgan. Why do I remember his first name and not his surname? My memory is so bad. Punched away by David Raya. And as far as Jonkovic, I think that was how they pronounced his name. Bailey's ball in. It's gone all the way through to David Raya. And Arsenal can rebuild again. Who do you reckon to be top 4 this season? I've gone with Arsenal to win the Prem. I just think he'll do it this year. I don't think so. I did it at a time before Ilkay Gundogan joined Manchester City, and I said that with Mikel Merino looking like a deal that's being done, and the potential of you then looking out for a striker, I think that would be enough to see you across the finish line this season. I think you would have the bit between your teeth. I think you'll have the past 2 seasons of adrenaline and aggression and everything else mixed in with that and the emotion. And I think that will see you across the finish line. As Saka puts in a cross, it's just headed away. Aston Villa deal with it. And we'll try and set Watkins away, but very well dealt with by Saliba. I just think you'll do it this year. And although the addition of Gundogan for Manchester City is a bit scary, I'm still leaning a little bit more towards you. But you'll have to also, to be completely convincing towards me and maybe a few others as well, have to do some proper business in the remaining few days of the transfer window. As Odegaard plays through Saka, he tries to go around the goalkeeper. Martinez stays firm. It's dealt with in the end. It's not properly away yet as Onana just about gets it away. Nice beating of the press there from Villa, and Onana can spring free here, and there could be a potential for a counter-attack on, but Arsenal really do close him out, and Partey gives away a free kick. Very well played by Onana to give his team a bit of respite there. Brilliant piece of play by him as the ball was given away, but Martin Odegaard there pulling all the strings. Lovely little ball. Lovely little reverse ball to find him. He may have just been offside, Saka, just as the ball was being played back. That would have been interesting if the ball had gone into the back of the net, how that would have gone on the VAR. But Villa are making a change here, and it's Ollie Watkins who's had a very frustrating day off, and John Duran is on. They're also making a second change here, it seems, and it seems that McGinn has gone off and is replaced by Jacob Ramsey. Sorry, Brian, back to your question. I've gone with Arsenal to win. I think City will come second. Liverpool, despite doing no business this summer, are still, in my opinion, and I'm not trying to be biased when I say this. Oh, by the way, Martinelli has come off and Leandro Trossard has come on. Just want to throw that out there. Despite doing no business this season, I think Liverpool still have the 3rd best team in the division, and I've gone with United because I just feel like United's business on and off the pitch this summer is something that free as a bird towards the back post, and Konza there just puts it back into a very dangerous area from a deep free kick. Digne with the free kick finds Konza towards the back post, and he just puts it in an area there where no one really gambles on it, and it's just past the post from Ezri Konza. But yeah, I've gone with that. Third, like I say, Liverpool, and fourth, Man United. What are yours, Bray? If you're still here, I'd love to know what you're thinking about this season as well. Would love to know what you're thinking about this season. What are your top four predictions? Maybe who do you think will go down this season? Much better though in the second half. This Bukayo Saka down the right hand side. Worked between him. Decided to get Odegaard on the ball a little bit more, which is always a good sign as far as what they're concerned. Odegaard, Partey, lovely little ball out wide for Saka. Odegaard, lovely little through ball for Saka down the right hand side. Saka cuts it back. Van Havertz has found his way to Trossard and it's 1-0 Arsenal. It's 1-0 Arsenal. Leandro Trossard has only been on the pitch for about maybe just over a minute. But Leandro Trossard has found the back of the net. Instant impact from the substitute there. All brilliant play. Finds Bukayo Saka down the right wing and his cross finds Havertz and it just ricochets very, very fortunately and kindly into the Belgians' path. And it's a brilliantly accurate finish from him to find the back of the net. There's a lack of a celebration. Not necessarily sure what that's about. But at the same time, fantastic play by Arsenal and by Trossard. They are just checking to see if whether the ball or not crossed the line when Saka crossed it. I don't think all of the ball did cross the line. I think they're okay there. But yeah, I'm just seeing here, the ball finds its way to Havertz and it's just a ricochet. It's just a very fortunate ricochet. Once again, comes off it's Rodgers. It is Morgan Rodgers. Like it's a ricochet off of him, off of Rodgers. And it just falls beautifully into the path of Trossard, and Trossard finds back in the net. Again, two things I said earlier. This game is going to have chances based purely off either skill or by luck. That was a chance created off of a little bit of luck. There's a bit of skill in the build-up play, and there was a bit of good football in the build-up play. But ultimately, it falls to Trossard because of a little bit of luck, a bit of a decent ricochet. And again, like I say, in terms of not taking your chances, Villa only have themselves to blame. How important do those Ollie Watkins chances look now that Arsenal have only had one shot in this second half and have scored that one goal? It's all about quality, people, not about quantity. We should know that by now. Arsenal, they're taking full advantage of that. And in a big way, have taken a lead, which could be vital. In this game, and obviously maybe for the season. Who knows? We can't be taking anything like that for granted here. There we are, all changed. Trossard, Arsenal, 1-0, and Aston Villa only had themselves to blame. They'll be kicking themselves for missing those chances, and Ollie Watkins especially will, after instant impact from Leandro Trossard, who made it 1-0 Arsenal with 20 minutes or so to go of the second half. Like I say, Arsenal haven't really done anything in the second half. Got to be said, Arsenal have not created anything of note. Arsenal not really tested Emi Martinez. They've got to the final third and then just sort of run out of ideas or support for the most part. It's been Aston Villa who have created all the chances, but there you have it. Like I say, all about taking your chances, and if you don't, the bigger teams will punish you, as displayed here. Which country do you think will win the Nations League? I don't even know, mate. I really don't even know. I don't necessarily care for international football when it reaches the Nations League. They're just glorified friendlies to me. It's like a glorified cup. Let's put it this way. Probably not England. Let's put it that way. Probably not England. Are we even in contention to win? I don't even know anymore. My brain just switches off now whenever international football isn't in a European Championship or World Cup. I don't necessarily care for it that much, to be honest with you, mate. But decent question anyway. We'd love to know if you're in on the subject of international football. We'd love to know what you're thinking. Do you think Spain will take their European glory to the Nations League, or do you think maybe a Portugal, say, without Ronaldo, that was seemingly hindering them in the European Championships, may come back with more? I don't know. As Onana there picks up a yellow card for a foul on Thomas Partey. How quickly things can change in football. Could be a massive goal, though, for Arsenal. Could be a massive goal, that, for Arsenal. And like I said, instant impact from the substitute known as Leandro Trossard. He came on for Gabriel Martinelli and instantly made an impact. That's why Arteta gets paid the big money. But it's not been great by Arsenal by any stretch of the imagination, and this is where I think a different type of striker will certainly benefit them in the long run. A different type of striker to have, someone with a bit more physical presence, someone that can offer them something different. And not only that as well, but someone that's just an ice-cold finisher in front of goal above all. Just someone who is an absolute killer. Because for as good as what Havertz has been, and I think he has definitely proved near enough everybody wrong since he joined from Chelsea, I wouldn't necessarily still trust him in a sort of situation where I need the scrappiest of goals. I need the scrappiest of goals just to kind of grind out a win. Wouldn't necessarily trust him in that particular kind of situation. It may sound daft to say, nice turn away there from Rodgers. Might sound daft a little bit to say, but I just think Arsenal need that extra little something that he doesn't really offer. I think they need a bit of a plan B, or even a plan A in certain games, and Havertz be the plan B in certain games. I don't know. I don't really know. I don't really know what the situation may call for. I don't even know who they've got lined up. I know they seemingly are interested in Lookman. Not entirely convinced by Lookman, but he could be a decent stopgap, maybe. Maybe bringing someone on loan for a year, potentially, something like that. I don't know. But there's gotta be some movement. There has to be some movement. Could still be more in this game as well. Villa shouldn't be too disheartened with the deadlock being broken in Arsenal's favour. They had a bit of encouragement before the goal. They obviously had the two chances for Ollie Watkins. They obviously had the Konza moment, which was very, very close. If someone had taken a gamble at the far post, who knows what could have happened. But we are 15 minutes away from the end of at least normal time, depending on obviously what happens with extra time and stuff. Injury time. Could be a massive win for the Gunners, this. Onana's time is done. And Digne as well is coming off, and Matson and Barkley are on. "15 minutes or so still to go. And we're waiting to see if these changes for Villa work in their favour or not, or whether Arsenal can probably kill the game off. You probably would imagine another goal will kill the game off. For obviously in Arsenal's favour, but an equaliser could obviously set up a very exciting and interesting finale. But what a win this would be for Arsenal. Like I say, slaying one of their few demons of last season that saw them not win the Premier League title this early on could be massive, especially with it being a massive away day as well. As that's a beautiful ball over the top, played right the way across the face of goal. Is picked up by Saka. The attack's still not over. It's Thomas Partey's a ball. It's an absolute howler from Martinez. It's an absolute howler from Martinez. Thomas Partey has made it 2-0 to Arsenal. And Emi Martinez will absolutely be kicking himself at not dealing with that one. It was a brilliant move by Arsenal initially. Lovely ball over the top to release Leandro Trossard down the left wing. He is onside when the ball is played. It's a lovely ball over the top. Plays it right the way across the face of goal. Very dangerous ball that. But it wasn't converted by anybody. Picked up by Bukayo Saka on the other side, and he just tees up Thomas Partey, who absolutely hammers it at goal. And Martinez just pushes it into his own net. It's not the cleanest of strikes, I don't think, from Partey. It's not even one that's like cleanly into the corner. But what it is, it's got enough power on it to be too hot for Martinez to handle. And he's ended up just pushing it into the back of his own net. An absolute howler from the Villa goalkeeper. In the same week, by the way, that I saw someone say that he's better than Alisson Becker. So, nah, he ain't, mate. Nah, he ain't. 2-0 Arsenal, and, well, conveniently, I said about 20 seconds before that goal went in, that probably will be it as far as what Arsenal or this game is concerned, if obviously Arsenal were to get the second goal. And then they went and got the second goal. So, there you have it. And that probably does go on and kill the game off. Arsenal will probably go out and see the game perfectly out from this point as Calafiori comes on and Jurrien Timber is replaced. Aston Villa 0, Arsenal 2, entering the final 10 minutes of normal time. It's going again. It's cut it back. It's Odegaard. He's blazed it over. That really should have been 3-0 and good night Vienna to Aston Villa in this game. But Martin Odegaard has just blasted it over from near enough the penalty spot. Brilliant play again from Arsenal. Down, just a ball over the top down on left-hand side. And it's Declan Rice with the cutback, I believe. And he's picked out Leandro Trossard near enough on the penalty spot. And he just couldn't keep it down. That really should have been good night. That really should have been the final nail in the Aston Villa coffin. As I was about to say, once again, this Arsenal side not really created much in the second half. They've not really forced a save from Martinez, with the exception of the first half effort from Bukayo Saka. But as I said, when you are facing these teams, you have to take your chances. You have to take your opportunities when they present themselves. And they have presented themselves to Aston Villa on a couple of occasions. and they just haven't taken them. And against the bigger teams, you need to do that. Otherwise, you get punished. And that is exactly what has happened here with Trossard firing into the back of the net first to break the deadlock, and then Thomas Partey with a stinging effort that was too hot for Martinez to handle, doubling Arsenal's lead. It's really been a decent performance from Arsenal. The opportunities that presented themselves were through mistakes that Arsenal made. But overall, it's about taking your chances when they fall, and that's exactly what the Gunners have done. It's a shame, really, for, like I say, Morgan Rogers, for me, has been the best player on the pitch. Like, it's a shame that he's going to be on the wrong end of this. From an attacking perspective, I think Morgan Rogers has definitely been the best player on the pitch. I think he's been really good. Really bright spark for Aston Villa. But from a defensive point of view, Saliba with another Rolls Royce of a display. Declan Rice has been very good as well. Seeing if this spell of possession will lead to anything for Villa. But no, Arsenal have been really, really good. I think in the attacking third, I don't think they've quite been as electric. I think they've let a few half chances and a few decent opportunities go. I think later on in the season, if they were really clicked into gear, I think you would see them a bit more decisive in the final third. But you can tell that they've really started to just click now, and they're on a move again here, and they're looking to really kill this game off. Odegaard down the right-hand side, cuts it onto his left foot. It's Saka now, moves the ball towards the left. It's hit by Trossard, and he fires it over into the crowd. Fair few opportunities have been let go by this Arsenal side. I will admit that. For as much as they haven't necessarily worked the goalkeeper much, they have let a few opportunities go. As Villa could be in here. It's Jacob Ramsey, shoots. It's another crunching challenge by Saliba to deny him. Absolutely incredible performance by the centre-back. Lovely little bit of play by Aston Villa to break the press and to release Jacob Murphy through on goal. But the recovering Saliba just manages to get there in the nick of time and with an incredible challenge to deny him. Fantastic work by the defender. And the ball goes out of play for a corner. But yeah, as I was saying about Arsenal, for as much as they have let a few opportunities go and not really worked the goalkeeper, there's been a number of counter-attacking opportunities in which they've just been let down by the final execution or the decision-making of their of their attacking play. So a lot to work on for Arsenal, but also a lot to be intrigued by as well. And again, if this is to obviously finish how it's looking like, 2-0, solid result, consistency as well, 2-0 victories in a row. And not only that as well, but of course, 2 clean sheets. Can't argue with that. Well on their way to only conceding 15 goals in total throughout the season. Or less, 15 or less. Bit of concern here for Bukayo Saka, whether he's just milking this or not. I'm not sure, but he's won a free kick for Arsenal. He's just still sitting down, but just seems like he's milking it a little bit just to catch a breather. I think this guy who's just about to take this free kick now as well, Odegaard, has been really, really good. I think he had a bit of a sluggish start, but he really has grown into the game as the games wore on. he really started to pull the strings for the Gunners. And when he's obviously in that kind of mood and in that kind of form, Arsenal are normally playing to his tune, I guess you could say. Oh, bit of tussling going on here between Calafiori and Konza. Welcome to the Premier League, young man. It's not certainly been for not trying for Aston Villa. It's just been a lack of execution, as just seen there. Like Jacob Ramsey again, just powering down the left wing, and he manages to find he got some space to move into, and he just powers down there, and then his cross in, and John Duran. It's just a complete miscue from Duran. Just a complete miscue from Duran, and he can't get a shot on goal, and I think it eventually goes for a corner, but yeah. In the end, Arsenal win. Yeah, it looks that way, mate. Welcome back. Welcome back. But yeah, it definitely looks that way as Bukayo Saka makes way for Reece Nelson to enter the fray for the final few minutes. But yeah, it looks that way. And like I say, it's about taking your chances, especially in at this level. And Villa did not take theirs in the slightest, and Arsenal did. And that is obviously the difference maker on the day. Like I say, it's not been the best of performances from Arsenal in my personal opinion, not especially from an attacking point of view. I think there is still room for improvement. But yeah, it's not exactly been the best of performances from the Gunners, but at the same time, it is still effective. And at the end of the day, if this stays the same, this is a massive achievement already in this early stage of the season. A team that beat Arsenal home and away last season, put a massive dent in their Premier League charge. To beat them, and especially a difficult away day as well, in this kind of way and this kind of manner, that's big. That is big for the Gunners, in my personal opinion. That could be a huge momentum and confidence boost going forward. Still think they need to put pressure on signing a striker, but of course you can cross that bridge when you come to it. Cross that bridge when you come to it. Fletch, why did a girl take a number on Wednesday, save on her phone, and even reread my number to be certain yet to contact me? Girls our age are strange. Keep your head up, bro. Keep your head up. You'll get there one day. You'll get there one day, my friend. No idea. They are a mystery. Can we get 690 today, everybody? There we land. Here we go. It would be nice. Would be lovely if we did, but slowly but surely, we are on the grind and on the move. So, we're on our way. We're on our way. Absolutely. Absolutely. Like, subscribe, comment. Would love all of those things, and all of those things are greatly appreciated. So thank you very much to each and every single one of you for doing that so far. Into the 90th minute. It's still 2-0 to Arsenal. Villa trying to get something out of this game, but Arsenal's defence so far is standing firm. Four minutes of added on time. Brentford are a solid set piece type team. Good test for Arne Slot. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm looking forward to tomorrow's game a little bit. I have a very, very horrible feeling that a certain Fabio Carvalho is going to come back and haunt us. But maybe that's just me being, being someone that just looks a very cynical sort of view on things sometimes. Liverpool should win. I have backed us to win. I have said in my predictions video that we will win. I think being back at Anfield and everything is going to be huge for us, and obviously will be a good day. But yes, I have a feeling Fabio Carvalho could really come back to bite us, and wouldn't that be beautifully ironic? As David Raya has apparently been given the player of the match for that incredible save from Ollie Watkins. It's an amazing save. It's an amazing stop by Raya. The way that obviously he tries to go back to block the initial, to save the initial shot, falls back into his goal, and then to have the quickest of reactions to get back up and then to deny Watkins. Maybe Watkins could have done better if you want to be critical of the striker, but it's still a brilliant save nonetheless from the Spanish goalkeeper. Liverpool should win being at home. Brentford have new signings. Sepp van den Berg. Do you think he will start? Fabio Carvalho should start for them, etc. When did Van den Berg sign? When did he sign? Because if he signed, I can't remember when he signed now. Did he officially sign on the Thursday or the Friday? I'm just checking to see if he'd been registered. Thursday. He should have registered in time then, shouldn't he? So he could be in contention. I don't think he'll start though. I don't think he will start, but he certainly could play some minutes just to kind of welcome him. And yes, that would be beautifully ironic as well if his first ever match at Anfield is to go against Liverpool. That'd be quite funny. So he very well could get some minutes in the legs just to kind of bleed him into the side gently, but I'm expecting Carvalho to, definitely. I think he showed a few nice touches in his very small cameo that he made against Palace last week. So I think we could see a lot more of Carvalho than we could of Van den Berg, but we shall wait and see what tomorrow brings us. Fingers crossed it's 3 points to Liverpool. Fingers crossed. If we play like we did in the second half of the game against Ipswich, we very well could wipe the floor with Brentford tomorrow. But it's about which side, Liverpool side turns up. Is it going to be the one that turned up in the first half? Is it going to be the one that turned up in the second half? Is it going to be a mixture of both? A little bit in between? Who knows? Who knows? Take care, Fletch. Is there a watch along tomorrow? I won't have time. I won't have the freedom that I have right now, should I say, tomorrow. I'll be watching the game, but I won't be able to do a watch along tomorrow. But like I say, the watch alongs will be sporadic anyway, so it might not be for a while the next watch along. But I still will have live streams from time to time going forward. It's just that I've been afforded time and the availability to do so this week. So they've actually been really good. I've actually had a lot of fun in doing this. But we'll see about the watch-alongs. We'll see when the next one is. As the full-time whistle goes, and it's Arsenal 2, Aston Villa 0 at the end of the game. One of Arsenal's few demons that stopped them from winning the Premier League title last season has been slayed in Aston Villa. An instant redemption arc, I guess you could say, for Mikel Arteta and for Arsenal, as Arsenal beat a team that beat them home and away last season. But it wasn't exactly they had it all their own way. David Raya had to come to Arsenal's rescue in a massive way in that second half to deny Ollie Watkins from point-blank range, it seemed. A fantastic reflex save by the Spanish goalkeeper denied the England striker the opportunity to break the deadlock for Villa. That was after Bukayo Saka forced a save from Emi Martinez in the first half. Watkins had a golden opportunity again in that first half to put Aston Villa ahead, but he scuffed his effort. Wasn't all Arsenal's own way. They really had to take their chances when it came to them, and that's exactly what they did. That is the difference on the day. Arsenal were more clinical than Villa, and they had their substitute, Leandro Trossard, to thank for that, putting them ahead with a very accurate finish. Thomas Partey with a fierce drive at goal with a shot that was too hot to handle for goalkeeper Emi Martinez, doubled Arsenal's lead. And from there, Arsenal saw the game out fairly comfortably to not only record their second win of the season, their second 2-0 win of the season, but also to record their second clean sheet of the campaign as well. Massive achievement from Arsenal this, a massive game, and I'm sure that they will take that confidence and that mentality in with them for the rest of the season, because Aston Villa's no easy task, and especially with them being at Villa Park, it's no easy task as well. So there you have it. A massive, massive win for Arsenal. A massive boost to their mentality and confidence, I'm sure, to come for the rest of the season. And you know what? It's big for Arsenal. Big for Arsenal, big for their defence. I thought William Saliba as well as David Raya had absolutely storming games for them. I thought the midfield was pretty decent. I thought Thomas Partey had a pretty solid game. Declan Rice was solid too. Odegaard, I felt, had a bit of a sluggish start, but grew into the game as the game progressed and was really pulling the strings at times there. Trossard gets his goal. Saka was Saka. Not quite as effective, but still manages to get an assist on the board. I felt Arsenal in the final third today were not quite at it for large parts. I feel like when they went 2-0 up, I feel the pressure kind of dropped and they were starting to play some really nice football, which you could definitely see that became evident as the game wore on again. But yeah, like I say, massive 3 points for Arsenal, a massive win for the Gunners, and they slay Aston Villa. That is all that there is to say, thanks to goals from Leandro Trossard and Thomas Partey. Big win this for Arsenal as they go into game week 3 with a perfect record still. We wait and see, obviously, what the future holds for them. In my opinion, they are Premier League. They are Premier League champions in the waiting this season. In my opinion, I think they will go on and win the Premier League title. But I still think, to be completely convinced that is going to happen, I still would like them to reassure that front line up. I still would like them to go ahead and go and get either a consistent goal-scoring winger, which can also play a striker, or just a striker and a winger, or just a striker. I feel like those kinds of positions are still in need of beefing up. It's still in need of improvement, but they are getting there. They are getting there. I have no issues with them defensively. Attacking-wise, I do worry a little bit in certain games. But that's for then. This is the now. Arsenal 2-0 winners against Aston Villa. Ollie Watkins, I'm sure, will be kicking himself tonight, as will Emi Martinez for letting that Thomas Partey goal slip through his fingers. But yes, a massive win nonetheless for Arsenal. A massive 3 points for them. Guys, thanks everyone for joining me. Really do appreciate it. Thank you for getting involved in the chat. Thank you for everything in this video. Really do appreciate it. Really have enjoyed these. But like I say, these will be very sporadic across the season and beyond until I can see if I can get something a bit more permanent going. We shall have to cross that bridge when we come to it. But yeah, like I say, thanks everyone for watching. Like the video if you haven't already. Subscribe if you're new or want to see more content like this. Both moves are always and probably greatly appreciated. Like I say, get involved still in the chat. Get involved still in everything else and that goes along with it. Really do appreciate your interaction, guys. Love it as well. We love to see this community continue to build. Absolutely fantastic in my personal opinion. Thanks everyone. Until next time, I've been Fletch. This has been another watch along / Fletch live stream / whatever the hell you want to call it. And I will see you all again soon in another video, live stream, or whatever it may be. Cheers, guys. Thanks for watching. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your night. Speak to you all again.